In today's video, we'd like to talk about one of our favorite sports that we find it very enjoyable to watch. This actually makes us a bit different from our fellows because what we are fond of is something, like an everyday sport to many families in the United States, but not that popular in China due to various factors such as the relatively small media coverage, which somehow limits the sport's visibility to the public. Anyway, as we've introduced ourselves in the channel that we want to share the fun and all the things we love to everyone in the hope of making language learning more engaging and also helping to fill the gap between cultures, no matter how small we are. We will talk about the charms of the various sport from different angles, and today we'll be focusing on what it is and why we like it. Alright, speaking of our favorite sport, baseball is our number one pick. Although its rules might be one of the many reasons that talk a lot of people out of it. Because to anyone who is not familiar with the sport, it would be rather confusing just by trying to figure out who is playing against whom, whether the batters want to hit the pitch or not, and if they do, then how come they run away after eventually making a hit to such a tiny ball with high speed and velocity? However, this is also the beauty of the game. As the more complex and detailed the rules are, the less holes or ambiguity there are, and the more you study them in detail, the better you can enjoy the game. Well, I will give it a try to explain the rules. Briefly, it is a sport game between two teams, taking turns batting and fielding in a game of 9 innings. The lineup of each ball club comes with a pitcher, a catcher, 4 infielders including the first, second, and third baseman, as well as a shortstop, together with the 3 outfielders covering left, center, and right of the outfield. These 9 players from each side are hitters when they are playing offense. And in order to score, they need to hit the ball hard enough to become a home run or to form an infield or outfield hit that the defensive team cannot catch, so that the hitters can run bases and eventually make it to the home plate. The last thing those hitters want to do is to be struck out at the batter's box. When making defense, the 9 players need to change roles and to give full play to their strengths to retire opponents. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, and far more details of the rules can only go deeper on a case-by-case scenario. Not to mention, there could be new changes for rules. For example, the National Leagues have eventually decided to bring in the designated hitter, and the bases have recently been changed to bigger ones. All of this have not only made the whole baseball system and rules the most complicated in all kinds of sports, but also at the same time made the games more fun to watch. Another thing that fascinates us to be the fans is, baseball is a real team sport, and it's everyone's coordination that can put the team to consecutive wins in so many series. In the world of baseball, no one can become the single hero. Even the most powerful pitcher must rely on teammates' efforts for defense, and the batters must run bases under coach's temporary guidance. No one can win the game just by himself, let alone some strategies called sacrifice hit or infielder's choice that are designed to sacrifice some player's survival to realize a bigger outcome. Also, unlike many other sports games, baseball is an everyday sport. From the beginning of April to the first half of November, every team needs to show at games almost every day, except the day for traveling from one city to another. This makes the role of baseball more than a sports game, but more of a friend that can accompany audiences all along. Well, in general, the more you get to know baseball, the more you are likely to be into it and to find it interesting. And you will never get bored because always different and ever-changing situations in each batting, pitching, and running that keep the game's tension and freshness. So among all the popular and dominant sports, baseball's position is definitely irreplaceable. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon with a couple of more videos elaborating on baseball games and of course, the stars.